Jason, how is Brooke?
I don't know, I didn't really get a chance to talk to him, so I think he has a sprained ankle, but we'll see how he feels. But all I said was congratulations on the win, and we got a quick turnaround, so we'll see how he feels.
What's been the difference with this team the last 3 games?
I would say the defensive side of the ball. The guys have executed the game plan. They're trusting one another, and I think they're finishing it with a rebound. That was something that we kind of struggled at the beginning of the season, was finishing plays, and those guys in that locker room have asked them to do some different things defensively, and they've done it. And I think the trust factor on the defensive end has now led to the ball moving on the offensive end, and guys getting shots. But the biggest thing is our health. Guys getting healthy, having Darren out there helps. But being the team that's getting healthy is something that's been a big plus for us.
Coach, 21 points reminder of last night. What did you see from him?
I think he was aggressive. Again, Dre is someone that we count on to be able to put the ball in the basket from the inside, and also was playing his jump shot, and he got going there in the third, and we played through him. But just him not settling, and that was that was big for us tonight. Not just from Dre, but everybody not settling. Making plays for one another, and that's what helps us win these games.
Coach, the defense on the pick and roll really tightened up midway through the first quarter. You called a timeout right about then. What happened with the coverages on the middle pick and roll in that time period?
The guys, those guys were executing. It wasn't so much defensively, it was offensively of us shooting the mid-range shot, and we didn't get the ball inside the way I wanted to start the game, and we kind of settled for the mid-range shots, which put a little bit more pressure on our defense. And then once we started to get the ball inside, everything else started to click.
Could you tell these last 2 games maybe meant a little something extra to Paul and Kevin?
You gotta ask those guys that question. I'm not. It's just another basketball game for most of us, but probably for those two. Having Doc over there on the sideline, they won a championship. Might have been something a little bit more, but for most of the guys, it's just another basketball game.
Just how far is Paul with his hand? How healthy is he? Can you tell?
I can't put a number on it. He's a competitor, and he's out there playing. He has a glove on to protect it, and he's doing everything that he can in his power to try to help us offensively and defensively, and he's done a wonderful job.
Are these two games kind of a sign of what you guys have when you have Darren Williams playing like that?
I hope so. He's a guy who kind of sets the table. You saw that throughout the game tonight when you had some of the top point guards out there on the floor on both sides. But again, being able to play inside out is something that we're getting better at, especially we're being able to make the pass out of the double team, and Joe doing the same thing. So again, we're executing the game plan.
And how big was the play of your bench there, especially at the end of that first quarter, to make up that deficit right away?
Yeah, I thought the bench set the tone. The stars were, we were shooting jump shots, and the bench comes in and they start scoring in the paint, and that was kind of turned the game around for us as those guys that came in, set the tone by getting the ball in the paint, and then defensively, they executed the game plan.
I know you're just finding out the information now, but do you expect Brooke to travel to Detroit?
He's going to travel, but we're going to see how he feels in the morning.
Okay, thank you. Locker room's open.
Kevin, just how does the team feel right now mentally after getting the third straight win, after what you guys have been through, so much struggles so far this season?
We're playing better. Like I said, man, we're a working group with the guys who will come in. And we know we put ourselves in this hole, but like I told y'all earlier, we're a group that's committed towards obviously getting ourselves out of it. And the changes have been evident, and the scheme, we trust in it. We go over it every day, and we're giving it an effort. I think the effort's a lot better. But on top of it, Darren's play is it's just dictating how we're coming out and starting games. He's pushing the pace. You know, he's directing, he's leading. He's there winning. And that's not, I really feel like that's the difference. Obviously, we had guys beat up, and we had a lot of guys asked to play a lot of minutes and different roles in those in that transition. And you just see the difference in what the talent is.
Kevin, how emotional a night was this for you, seeing Doc, and what was it like seeing him coach on the other sideline?
You know, it was a bit weird. I said something the truth, like, man, this feels weird. And, you know, we kind of had like a little conversation about it, but I always have a special place for Doc. I thought he helped me grow not only as a player, but as a young man. Taught us a lot about not just about basketball and the philosophies of it. About being a young man, a young black man, understanding your responsibilities, because we remember when we were starting our families and stuff like that, and just overall great role model. You know, no one's perfect. All humans have their flaws or whatever, but shoot, he's damn close to it. And I'm just grateful that he came in my life, and I'm able to say that I had that experience with him.
When you, I think before the game, you guys hugged, did he say anything to you?
Absolutely. Nothing that I would like to share, but yeah.
What do you think the difference for the defense has been these last 3 games? And is part of it that the other team has had to take the ball out of its own hoop more often?
The schemes. I think the schemes in which we've changed from what it used to be from the start of the season to what we are doing now are very different. They're asking a lot of the bigs to do certain things, night in, night out, but it's been done with a better effort. We're talking a lot. I think our biggest problem is communication. Jason has us just talking, just communicating, and yelling the schemes out and yelling the coverages and stuff. We're trusting it. For the first time, I think, in a long time, I can honestly say that every guy on here that's in the game, that's not even in the game, that's part of the game, is trusting the schemes. We're doing it with a better effort.
Kevin, you've been through so many battles with Doc, but what have you learned about Jason as a coach in this past month? You guys have gone through a lot. There's been a little change in the bench as well, and all the losing. Have you learned anything about him as a coach?
He's a fighter. The first thing I noticed about Jason is, you don't become one of the best point guards in the league by just waking up and just stretching out and putting on your shoes and coming into the gym. He's a fighter. It's the first thing that, when all the changes were made and all the disgruntled, first thing you notice about him, that he took charge and he trusted who he was, and I think we kind of backed that up by just showing a better effort and coming out believing in what he's saying to us. But the one thing that stands out about him is his grit and his fight, very similar to what Doc is.
Kevin, in the first 5 minutes, you guys gave up about 20 points. In the next 2.5 quarters, 30 points. What changed with the defense, particularly in that middle pick and roll, that allowed you guys to limit those open shots?
Jason switched up some of the schemes that we wanted to start with. Chris Paul is a great dictator of pace. Great point guards know how to obviously run the game, and he's probably one of the best, if not the best, at doing it in our era. And we changed a couple of things here and there, but it was more of an effort. And then Darren came in and just got aggressive, and we followed his lead. And the confidence was lit from then on.
Next question. I know you guys obviously had a great win, Darren played great. Is it frustrating though to have Brooke go down just as you guys are starting to get a rhythm and get healthy now?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's very frustrating because I feel like we're in a good rhythm and everybody's starting to understand their lane and their role in this. And the big fella, obviously had to miss us, but we're optimistic and hoping that it's nothing serious. Okay, thank you.
I asked him how was Boston. He was like, that's, you next. He was very emotional about it. It was fun. I actually went over and told him I know all his plays and give him away. So it's fun to see him for the first time.
What does it mean for this team to get your third straight win now?
Well, we're trying to develop some momentum. It's great. We're playing well ever since D. Will's come back. Like I said before, he is the head of the snake that drives this engine. And we're a whole different team, just the way we play offensively, defensively, with him out there.
What kind of impact did Doc have on you as a player?
I mean, we just, I grew under him. I was a young player, played 9 years with him. just continue to mature and just become a better all-around player under him. Before it was, I was really known as a scorer. Now, when he took over, he taught me the other parts of the game, the defense, the rebound, and the passing. Just helped my game grow and mature.
How would you describe your relationship with Doc now?
Very good. We talk. We keep in contact all the time. We text, and so when you accomplish something special like a championship, things like that, I still keep in contact with a lot of my teammates that are on that championship team. So it's like a connection that you have for life when you do something special like that.
Second game off the bench in a row for you. How did you feel? Do you feel more comfortable out there in that role right now? Do you think?
I'm playing my part in this. That's what it is. I'm trying to lead the second team. We developed some chemistry with that unit. So, as long as things keep going, we're winning games. Like I said, I'm sacrificing whatever for the good of the team.
Going talked since the summer about the way you think Darren Williams can play, and you're doing NBA players. These last couple of games, is that kind of proof of what you guys were expecting at the start of the year with him?
Yeah, he has to be our leader. Hands down. He changes the outlook of his team. If you just we look like a whole different team now. The way we able to get easier baskets, put pressure on the defense, understanding what we're trying to accomplish out there. A lot of times we look kind of unorganized, but with him out there as a leader, as a point guard, he's getting us in our right spots. And that's what I envision.
You getting used to them?
What's that? Yeah, I'm starting to get used to it. Second day we're in it, so last night took it out to the movies. Maybe I'll get on the boat ride with it. Got the light dinner. You know what I'm saying? We get to know each other very well.
Doc was saying how competitive you and Kevin are and everything. You think that's starting to kind of rub off on this team a little bit?
We hope so. I think our experience, our competitiveness, our leadership, hopefully will help on everybody, especially on the defensive end. We're starting to see signs of that. That's what we're here for.
Is it frustrating to have Brooke go down now just as you guys seem like you're starting to have a role?
Well, yeah. We've been battling the injury bug all year long, and just when it seemed like we're starting to get healthy, but it is what it is. It's a long season. Guys get hurt, and hopefully we can have a step up and make up for them. And for the guys that are hurt now, maybe they'll be back in a few days or a week or so. It's going to probably be like that all year. It's just the way the NBA grind is, and you see it all across the league.
Just speak to you.
Good at this point, understanding that we get healthy, man. And, everybody's going the right way, and we're a tough team to beat.
Defensively, obviously they got off to a good start, but then defensively, starting with the second unit, you guys really just shut them down tonight. What was the key for you guys defensively?
Just sticking with the game plan. Defensively, we were helping one another, especially on the pick and roll. Really living with those guys shooting outside shots, and a lot of times they wasn't making them. But we stuck with the game plan and were able to get back in the game and really control tempo. Pretty much throughout the whole game.
If they were making more threes tonight, would it have been a much different game? Or?
Probably so.
Yeah.
They had a lot of looks and just didn't make it.
So what you're saying is there's still some looks that you guys need to be taking away.
Well, you can't take everything away. You got to give up something. They're a great pick and roll team with DeAndre Jordan and Blake. Diving and catching alley-oops. So, a lot of times our weak side defense had to be sunk in, and it was kind of give or take. And luckily for us, they wasn't making a lot of threes.
Are you surprised at how quickly things have turned around since Darren came back? It's like been a complete 180 since he came
No, I'm not surprised, man. I know the type of team that we're capable of being. And, since he's come back, he's really pushed the tempo, got in the paint and really made plays. So he's made everybody else's job easy.
Joe, we had a big third quarter. Did you come out with a mindset of focusing on your offense, knowing that the team has struggled in the third quarter this season?
You know what? I try not to even think about it, come third quarter. But obviously, it's been such a big thing for us. But, I just came out, man, and just took a little defense gave me. We was throwing the ball down the brook and they were doubling. I was just kind of catching and shooting mainly. I got a lot of great open looks. Pick and roll with Dan and Brooke. you know, it's like you got to give or take, you got to give up something. And I was getting a lot of outside shots.
How important was Dre tonight, not just offensively, but defensively, getting on the boards?
He was huge, man. He came in and gave us a great lift off the bench. I mean, he's a tough guard. And you know, he scored the basketball, played great defense, even rebounded well. So that was a plus for us.
Yeah, Brooke, how's it feel watching Brooke leave? I mean, it seems like you guys can't catch a break.
Yeah, I know, man. It's always tough. You know, I just hate to see a guy go down, you know. And it just seems like when we have a full deck, it's just like it's always something. So hopefully we'll be all right.
All right. Thanks a lot, Joe.
Thanks.